Up until a few months ago, I had never seen Star Wars, and I made a heinous crime when I watched it for the first time. I skipped the prequels. Now, despite hearing many terrible things about these three films, I still want to watch them. I want to feel fully indulged into the Star Wars world. In my life, my friends have very conflicting feelings about these films. I have one friend that absolutely loves one of them. I have multiple friends that absolutely hate all three. So this will be fun for me. Looking forward to the weird line about sand and hoping to get context for that. And unlike the original trilogy and the sequels, I know hardly anything about these films. All I know really about the prequels is that it has Padme, Anakin, and Obi-Wan. So what I assume about these films is that it's the story of Anakin and how he becomes Darth Vader. So without further ado, let's watch The Phantom Menace and see what the whole fuss is about. Are they really that bad? I watched Phantom Menace and that was fun, I guess. It was very obvious that it was made for families and children. So me and a 5-year-old had a lot of fun. When it opened, I was like, the CGI is not that bad, because I always hear the complaints on how bad that is. And I was like, oh no, I was wrong. Oh, Jar Jar looks like a cartoon has just been fitted into it, and I hate him. His voice makes me want to pull out my own eyes and eat them. Talks like a toddler. Now, one of the main complaints you always hear about the prequels is the bad acting, and I think the acting was okay, a bit stiff at times, and some of the fight scenes were just very stiff as well. It was obvious that some of the fight scenes, especially in the beginning of the film, were very fake, but the acting with the CGI characters was just awful. Every time someone looked at Jar Jar, their eyesight was just way off to where his face was. I think the overall story of it was okay, but it does have the whole thing with the prequel curse, and this is why I don't like to watch prequels in general, really, because you always know that whatever happened, it's going to be okay-ish, or you know the outcome because you've seen like the original story, and that's why I'm just not a fan of prequels in general. So like Anakin and Obi-Wan are in danger, you're like, no, they're gonna be fine because, you know, they survive because of the original trilogy. But I did like little young Anakin. He was okay at the beginning of the film, and then he got into the jet and it was just so utterly cringy. Who let that child off his leash? Then you had Padme, who was just a fashion icon, but she did look about 20 years older than Anakin, which is slightly freaky. Now, when it came to that big battle with the droids and like Jar Jar with the domes and just the mass of like disposable soldiers, I've just seen Avengers: Infinity War, and that is definitely the Wakanda fight. Everyone always talks about how great the final lightsaber fight is with Darth Maul, but I feel like it was obvious the outcome to that. I think it was obvious he was going to kill Qui-Gon. I mean, it just made his whole death like not emotional at all. I was like, oh, good, cool. Who's shocked? Not me. So I am starting to understand why Stan Twitter has this weird obsession with Anakin, because when child Anakin is not being bloody annoying, I do feel quite protective over him. And also, yes, the transitions are back. Why are there so many transitions? I don't understand. Should I just put a load of unnecessary, unneeded transitions in this video just because I can? Wow. Star Swipe. So, Attack of the Clones was a very interesting film. I think it was good but not great, but definitely better than the first one. I think what really made it for me was Padme. I loved how she was just so involved in the fight. She's just a great character. I think my favourite so far of the prequels. You really see where Leia gets it from. Meanwhile, looking at her other parent, who is just an emo, cringy, awkward and stiff human being. I'm not sure if it's just terrible acting or just a really weird character choice, but either way, there's just something about it that just makes me laugh every single time I see Anakin's face. But I will say, the sand line in context isn't as bad as everyone made out. Questionable writing, but not terrible, you know? I think the thing that really saved this film for me and made me like it more than the first one was the third act. Basically everything after when Obi-Wan, Anakin and Padme were all chained up, and Anakin's like, what about Padme? And then Obi-Wan's like, she's on top of things, and she's literally on top of things, just kicking ass. From there on out, I was pretty chuffed with everything. One of my main problems with this film, and the thing I kept mentioning every 5 seconds watching it, was the fact that previously Padme, the fashion icon, would get changed in almost every scene, but as soon as her shirt gets ripped in the previous scene I just mentioned, and her belly is showing, she doesn't change outfit for the rest of the film. It's fine, whatever. I get over it. I'm just poor actress. I think she must be cold on set. I think another thing I find very questionable, mainly on Padme's part, the fact that Anakin has a lot of homicidal thoughts and just like hints that he probably isn't going to be a good guy in the end. And Padme's still like, yep, I want to bang him. And now all we have left in my prequel marathon is Revenge of the Sith, which apparently is the superior one. Let's see. Okay, yes, this is definitely the best prequel. It was just so much more dramatic, and I was just so much more engaged in it. I just liked how it all came together at the end to very nicely and neatly conclude this story arc, as well as explaining the original trilogy very well and not leaving like any unanswered questions. Just this film was just so dramatic, and it surprised me how dark it got at times, especially when it came to Anakin literally killing a bunch of kids, you know, all in the name of saving Padme, and then after all that sacrifice it goes to, Padme dies anyway. I think my only criticism really of this film would be the fact that Padme went from, in the second one, being this like kick-ass lady to just being the pregnant one. Sit in the corner now, please. I feel like although she's pregnant, so you know she can't fight, she could have done more apart from birthing and dying. I will say though, which is no criticism to the film when watching the prequels and the original trilogy, is that I'm not as fully engaged emotionally as it could be. It's just the fact that I know this story arc has, you know, technically ended. So like I said in my last Star Wars video, you know, I think just watching these films, I just do regret not being a part of the Star Wars hype sooner. It must have been an incredible feeling to be able to grow up with these films and have the story and the characters so close to you and so intertwined in your life. So now that I've finished the prequels, I should probably update my Star Wars ranking. Just bear in mind, I still haven't seen Rogue One or Solo, so it's not out yet. My official Star Wars rating would go Force Awakens, Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back, Revenge of the Sith, The Last Jedi, A New Hope, Attack of the Clones, and then Phantom Menace. And there's probably many people who disagree with that rating, but who cares? It's just my opinion, bruh. I am excited to watch Rogue One and very excited to watch Solo in cinemas, even though it doesn't look that great. I don't know why. I love being a part of the hype in the cinemas. Leave a comment in the description of other classic films you think I should do a video watch along with, and let me know what you think of the prequels, because they do get a bad rap and I don't think they fully deserve that bad reputation that they have. Thank you for watching. May the Force be with you, and goodbye.